Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make crème brûlée. Now crème brûlée is a French dessert, sweet custard. It's pretty easy to make ingredients wise. Technique, it's a little difficult because there's some important steps you have to take to make sure you get a nice smooth product. So to start, you're going to put 2 cups of cream and a vanilla bean split halfway into a saucepan and put it on medium to medium high heat, and you'll want to get that to almost a boil. While that's going, you're going to start to prep your eggs. And when I say eggs, I mean egg yolks. So you'll need 3 egg yolks, and you're going to separate them from the egg whites. And then you're going to add about a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And then you're going to whisk that until it's very smooth, or until all the sugar dissolves. And this is going to be your egg mixture. Now around this time, your cream should be hot enough to work with. So you'll take it off the heat and you'll start to temper your eggs. So when you're tempering your eggs, what you want to do is you want to take the hot cream mixture and you'll slowly add it to the eggs while whisking. You'll do it a little bit at a time, because what you want to do is you want to bring the eggs up to temperature, but to not cook them too fast, because they will overcook and you'll get like egg pieces in your custard, and you don't want it that. You want it to be nice and smooth. Once the eggs and cream are combined, you're going to pour them into your ramekins. Now you can use porcelain ramekins or foil ramekins, just depends on what your application is. You just want to make sure that when you're pouring the cream and egg mixture, you want to make sure it's even in each of the ramekins to make sure that as they cook, they all cook evenly. Once you have your ramekins evenly filled, you're going to add them into a high-lipped baking pan. So you can go with like a baking dish, or I know Pyrex, those glass dishes work really well. And you'll want to load them into that, because what you're going to do is you're going to make a water bath, or you're going to add water into the side of the Pyrex dish so that it fills up to about 3/4 of the way up on your ramekins. The reason why you do this is because the water bath allows the cooking to be consistent while you're baking the crème brûlées, and that way you can get that nice creamy center instead of everything on the sides being overcooked and the center being under. Once you have that, you'll throw it into the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. Then you'll check them. You'll want to see if it wobbles lightly in the middle. If it's still a little runny, you'll put them in at 5-minute intervals and check it till it gets to that nice jiggly center. At that point, you'll pull it from the oven, and then you'll take it out of the water bath and you'll cool for at least 8 hours. Best would be overnight. And then you'll move on to the next part, which is the brûlée. Now you have your pot de crème, is the technical term for it, without the brûlée. So you have your pot de crème and you want to brûlée it. What you'll do is you'll grab some turbinado sugar. I like to use turbinado sugar because the crystals are bigger and it creates an even layer of the caramelized sugar, a lot easier than regular white sugar would do. But you can also use regular white sugar just to make sure that it's very even over, and make sure you don't have too much of it, because you can get where you'll have the caramelized sugar sitting on top of unburnt or uncaramelized sugar, and you don't want that. So that's why I use turbinado sugar. And you'll just want to move the torch around until it has a nice even brûlée or burn. And some people like to go a little bit darker, some people like to go a little bit lighter. I like a nice medium where it starts to get a little black or a few black spots, but you're not so dark that it tastes burnt as you bite into it. And then with that, you'll have your perfectly made crème brûlée. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe on your way out, and have a wonderful day.